Hello and welcome back to the Florida Men Gaming. My name is Furion and today we're going to be playing Magic the Gathering Arena. For today's video, we're going to be playing a standard event, bringing back apparently one of our most popular videos, the Mono Blue Tempo Archetype. Before we get started though, I would like to ask that you please like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, let us know what you're thinking, what you like, what you'd like to see. And if you're over there on Rumble, go ahead and smash that Rumble button for us. So let's go ahead and select our deck and take a look at what we're dealing with. Let's submit, and let's take a look. So with this deck, we're running a little bit different than we did the last time. We're taking out Delver of Secrets. It's a great card if it goes off, but if it doesn't go off, you're kind of left with a real dud. So we're running 24 total lands, all of them snow, 2 Hall of the Storm Giants. Sorry, not all of them, 22 of them snow, 2 Hall of the Storm Giants. We're running 2 copies of Annul to stop any enchantments or artifacts coming down for 1 mana. 4 copies of the Ascendant Spirit. This little monster can grow from 1 mana up very quickly. It's a great mana sink if you're running out of things to do. 2 copies of Fly to give us some triggers and some interesting things to help us change board state, change game state. This is a really useful card for what we're trying to accomplish. 4 copies of the Thousand-Faced Shadow. This card can ninjutsu onto the battlefield and create copies of things that you already have down. Fortunately for us, we're not running anything legendary, so we can copy pretty much everything. 2 copies of Disdainful Stroke to stop those big ol' spells from coming down. 2 copies of Geist Wave to protect some of our critters and get some card draw out of the effect. 2 copies of the Malevolent Hermit just to give us a little bit more aggro and counter magic on the battlefield. 2 Suspicious Stowaways to help us mana fix. 2 Test of Talents to really thwart opponents and their spell casting. 2 Thieving Skydivers. This one is an interesting card. I decided to run it mostly to see if we could capture artifacts. I thought it captured artifacts and enchantments until I was testing the deck and realized, oh, whoops, I spent that mana for nothing. Also, if you capture, say, a portable hole that's holding one of your critters, you just have a portable hole on your side of the battlefield holding one of your critters. Top tip, keep an eye out for that. 2 Essence Captures to counter creatures and buff our field. 2 Biolume Eggs. Why, you ask? Well, let's talk about the Biolume Egg. It enters the battlefield and scries 2, and if you sacrifice Biolume Egg, you return it as the Biolume Serpent, a 4/4, which can sacrifice your lands late game to be unblockable. Why would I play this card, you ask? How am I going to sacrifice it? I'm in blue. All great questions. Let me introduce you to the Overcharged Amalgam. It's a 3/3 flyer with flash, flying, and exploit. When this card exploits, you can exploit and counter a creature, spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. So if they are, say, getting card draw off of Showdown of the Scalds, or if they have sagas that are about to go off the battlefield and come back on as creatures that we don't want to deal with, we can play this, sacrifice our Biolume Egg, get a 4/4 body on end step, and we counter the annoying ability, spell, or creature without having to sacrifice a 3/3 flying body. So it gives us 7 total damage and life on board by giving us that sack target, and it's an overall really solid card. 2 copies of the Patrician Geist, because it buffs spirits, which we do enjoy. 3 copies of the Cemetery Illuminator to help us see what's coming and maybe play some stuff off the top. And 3 copies of the Mirror Hall Mimic. Why? Because it never hurts to copy big creatures on the opponent's side, and if it dies for 5 mana, you can enchant a creature, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you create a token that's a copy of enchanted creature, except it's a spirit in addition to its other types. This is a really exciting feature because if they have something monstrous, we can take as many of them as we want. So, we're excited to get in with this one. I like the way this deck has been playing. Let's see how it performs in the standard event. Here we go for game 1. The plan here is most likely a continuous record. There may be a break in between, but we will wait and see how that plays out. This is a really confounding hand. I like having the Hall, but it doesn't help me with the Ascendant Spirit for at least 2 turns, which is kind of annoying. Opponent leads with black. We're going to go ahead and put the Ascendant Spirit down, maybe draw out a Bloodchief's Thirst if the opponent's sitting on one. Okay, we're looking at potentially Esper here. And with a Test of Talents in hand, or not Esper, Dimir. I like the Test of Talents because we could potentially thwart any annoying spell here, and that would be a huge boon to us. Uvilda, Dean of Perfection. I don't remember what you do, but let's go ahead and see if they bite. Nope. Let's go ahead and play down the Hermit. This gives us a 1 mana counter target spell. Okay, we're now looking at Grixis, if I'm getting my color wheel right. That could be problematic. And a Zorn, so we're looking at Treasure Tribal Grixis. That's a very interesting card to have. Do you tap? Oh, you want to trade these? I'll trade. Do you want to trade your Zorn? Apparently not. Kalain, the Reclusive Painter. Well, that would be terrifying if they pull a Goldspan off the top. Another Zorn. Interesting. So they're going full Treasure Tribal here. Let's go ahead and let's get in the air. And we'll go ahead and hold. At the very least, this protects us from a Goldspan's initial swing. They will create a heap of treasure, but they also don't have that extra red mana. Another Kalain coming down. Interesting that they chose to keep the Kalain that had Summoning Sickness, but hey. That is a big Stormkiln. Well, this is about to be very scary for us. That card ramps out of control with the treasures. Let's go ahead and create a body that is disincentivizing for attack. And hope they don't have a bounce or kill effect. Another Stormkiln artist to the board. I'm going to be suspicious of a swing, potentially a 1 damage spell on their side. Alright, let's see what we're looking at here. Let's take away the Kalain. We've got another Annul on deck. We're going to go ahead and hold and keep up the test. Nasari, Dean of Expression. Okay, that's an annoying card. He's going to play the top of our deck for the next few turns, I guess. Well, you can have the land. Geistwave is a good spell for us. Still holding that Test of Talents, looking for their big explosive play, which we have yet to see. Okay. There's the Geistwave. It's a little too committed to the idea here. Let's give ourselves a turn to think. And we'll hold on to the test of talents. We don't get the card draw off it, but at the end of the day, we don't really want it in that position. Let's see if they take advantage of the tapped creature. Skullport Merchant. Could really use a land. This is going to be a big treasure hit, actually. I didn't even think about that. Yikes. There goes their treasure. I was expecting more spells from them. Alright, they're sitting on something. What are they sitting on? Oh, I need to discard down to 7. Okay, we're going to drop in a null here. Alright, let's stop them from getting our counter target creature spell. Okay, they've got another land. Not entirely sure. Oh, Xanathar. That's not good. Well, we're just going to do the easy thing and win. I didn't even stop to do the math, but we just pulled it out because they have no aerial blockers, and they gave us plenty of time to figure it out. Ladies and gentlemen, we dodged that bullet. There's some mono blue tempo. All right. Let's get into that next game. Playing against Sweel. Or something of the sort. You know what? Let's give it a shot. The Illuminator is a nice pickup for us, something we'll be wanting to have on the board. Let's see if they've got Fading Hope. Decided not to include that because I wanted to utilize Geistwave's draw effect. It was more up the alley that we were trying to play down. Alright, come on down, Thousand-Faced Shadow. Okay, they don't have... Oh, there's the Bloodchief's Thirst. I was going to say they don't have Meathook online, but it doesn't much matter in that situation. Alright, let's go ahead and hopefully not get countered here. It could Jawari. Syncopate. That's a good card to have on hand. Let's see if they let us have the Thieving Skydiver. Another Syncopate. Glad I played that one instead of a card that I'd actually like to keep. Opponent appears to be playing Counterspell Tribal. Let's try again with the other card that's a 2-of in our deck. Okay, we get to keep it. We're gonna wait to try and attach Fly. Or do we get to keep it? Soul Shatter. Aren't you a clever, clever boy? It's a lot of mana. Let's go ahead and put down the Malevolent Hermit. And now we have the Geistwave online in case they decide some shenanigans are at play. If you want to kill the Hall, I actually don't mind. Thank you. Opponent just shuffled their own deck, so not sure what their plan is there. They don't appear to want to attack. Let's see if they let us keep the Fly. Negate. Alright, get a little poke in for 2 damage. Let's see if they elect to attack with the Hive of the Eye Tyrant this turn. This opponent, I'm not going to say they're maddening, but I'm not entirely sure what their game plan here is. Well, we can try again with the Illuminator. Seems that they're mostly Counterspell Tribal. Bright side is if they do try and counter the Illuminator, I have the Hermit to counter them back. Unless they go for a double here. I guess you can pay all 3 if you want to. Yep, there's the 3. It is interesting to me that they're not utilizing that Hive of the Eye Tyrant at all. But at the end of the day, it's their choice. We're going to go ahead and hold off on pumping the Spirit. We want to save our mana for the very end of the end step. Waiting for something like that. And another Sod coming. This is just a maddening deck. Go ahead and pass priority again. Let's see what happens now that I've got an unblockable that draws me cards. Okay. The Mimic I want to hold up just in case they get something like a Hullbreaker. Do they top deck removal? I guess we'll find out. Wouldn't hurt to get a bunch of copies. Shadow's Verdict! Alright. Opponent having every answer every time. Can I interest you in everything all of the time? Alright, I have a Test of Talents, which is a very useful card, especially when you're being a jerk. Stop it. Yes, congratulations. No more tests for you. Oh my goodness. That is a very annoying opponent. Well, if they draw the Lier, that will be a problem. So it's a race you want. Let's race. And which one is your priority now? Okay. There's the swing. What did you draw? Did you draw the Kraken? Release the Kraken! Good game, mono blue tempo. I mean, granted, that was a very annoying game, but I'll take a second win. I'm not going to say no ever. Go blank was just a very bad pickup for them. Late in the game, that's not as exciting if you're playing an opponent who is pouring everything onto the board. Okay, I think I had all that card, but hey, not going to complain for free card rewards. Alright, we have our next opponent. In testing, this deck played a lot more aggro than it is right now. Ooh, I like this hand. Let's go ahead and keep 6. I'm going to drop the Thousand Face Shadow, and I'm going to play the Ascendant Spirits down. Let's see what the opponent's playing. Leading with black and an Eye Twitch. Okay. Let's see if we can start baiting some attacks out of the opponent. Or by attacks, I mean targeted removal. Okay, opponent with green. Let's see what they draw. Most likely environmental sciences. Yep. To be expected. Do they have the removal for the first spirit? No, they're going for sciences. Okay. Do they have the Eye Twitch? Another Eye Twitch would be very annoying. And we could also use a land. There's the other Eye Twitch. Let's give ourselves a chance to maybe scry out a land here. We're going to need to start fixing some issues here. If we don't get that next land online, we're going to be in trouble. There it is. That'll allow us to super pump the flying spirit, get the other spirit growing. That's a number of good options on the table for us. Binding the Old Gods. So, there goes the spirit. And here goes more of our aggro feel. Just a lot of attack face. Opponent is ramping. If I had to guess, they're ramping up to Skeletal Swarming. Another binding. Well, that's annoying. Let's see if we want to save the overcharged amalgam for a turn here where we need to exploit it. Yep, I don't quite have enough mana yet. I need 6 total mana outside of the hall to be able to power it up. Yeah, I don't think you need that. Thanks for coming to play, though. Oh, they have it. Let's let them power up. They've now tapped themselves out, which is not what I predicted would happen there, but I'm glad it happened. Yeah, you can attack in for 1 damage. I don't mind. Disdainful Stroke, that's a useful card. We're going to go ahead and hold back the Amalgam. Don't want to give them any free mascot exhibitions here. And that's a big boy coming down. Unfortunately, we're not drawing the pieces we need right now to give us a good shot here. Yeah, you don't need that. To quote that villain Jay. 5 into blue. I've got 5, and the hall would be the blue. My goodness, he's got land for days. Interesting that he's passed both phases there. We'll take the test. No, you cannot. What do you got? Something you want to play? Uh-oh. Is this a Shigeki deck? Oh my, it's a Shigeki deck. Well, that's not fun. Not fun for me, I should say. Very fun for the opponent. Binding the Old Gods. Goodbye, Amalgam. It was nice knowing ye. Do they still have enough to power? They do have enough to power up the Hive. Man, they're sitting on all the mana. And I have drawn all the interesting cards. Not that I'm a shuffler truther. I have plenty of games that work out very well for me, but this is one of those games where the shuffler is definitely not my friend. Alright, well, we can get the Storm Giant online. So there goes the Shigeki again. They've got plenty of mana for the Field of Ruin, so it's not even worth touching there. Well, this opponent has gotten everything they've wanted and more out of this game. They've got enough for lethal on the next turn, and I draw an annul. We're going to go ahead and hit him with a fun emoji, and GG. Well, Doesn't work all the time, but I'll tell you what, if we had drawn some of our pieces in order, we would have actually had a pretty good chance against that deck. We just were drawing all the wrong pieces at all the wrong times, so not much you can do in that instance. Alright, we've got our next opponent. Puzzles and puzzles. I don't actually mind this hand. Opponent goes first, so that's a little annoying, but I like what this hand can do. Opponent leading with white. Could be mono white, could be anything else. Opponent with a second white. We'll go ahead and attack in. Opponent with a third white mana. What's your 3-drop? I have no idea what to make of this. It's not a card I've seen in many moons. As a matter of fact, I think I only ever saw it during draft and I wasn't sure whether to take it or cry. Alright, the Illuminator on the board. Let's start digging through our top deck. Apparently lands don't count as spells. I've tried to exile spells with this card many times in the past and it's not something that works. Hey, you can take that card. I'm doing 2 damage regardless. Oh, that was a misclick. When you're moving too fast, ladies and gentlemen, opponent up to 5 mana, Era of Enlightenment. Well, we're going to hold up this Disdainful Stroke next turn because I don't know what's coming, but 5 mana available, they could have some big spells on the way. Totally missed what they were doing with their scry. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar. Let's go ahead and put down the Spirit. Apparently I've got a knock. Alright, apparently I accidentally stopped recording. Let's drop the Mirror Hall Mimic. Mostly because I actually want it for its enchantment side. And we'll hold up. Opponent gains 2 life. Do you have a big enough spell for me to actually stop it? Well, you're eyeballing the Spirit. That's an interesting thing to take note of. You're also interested in the Thousand-Faced Shadow. Do you have the Wandering Emperor? Apparently not. What's your plan, Stan? Okay. Hey, that's one way to do it. Do you have a 3-drop? Alright, time to have a little fun with you. Huh. They've played some spells. I just don't think Test of Talents is going to be something I need to worry about here, so we won't. Okay, that's an intriguing card. Gonna drop the Overcharged Amalgam here. Our Adeline is nice because it keeps them from doing anything with their Adeline, unless of course they tap. Let's see what we want to draw. I don't need another one of you. Essence Capture. That is beautiful. What do you got for me? Maybe another Wanderer's Intervention or spell like it. So my plan at this point is going to be to utilize the Malevolent Hermit to block the Adeline, let one damage through, and if they decide to use that spell, counter it with the Malevolent Hermit. Whoops, that was a misplay on my part. Is that a Wanderer in hand, perhaps? Lyganjo, Seed of the Empire. That's unfortunate. Well, let's get another body on the board. Opponent with land. That's not good for us. That's also not good for us. Don't do it. You're gonna do it. It's a really weird mono-white build, but I'll have to give them credit where it's due. They earned that victory. Alright. It's actually a hand I don't mind. Let's go ahead and keep. Alright, the opponent has removal. That is a yikes with a capital Y. Let's go ahead and stop that from coming down. Do you attack with the Battlecry Goblin? No, you don't. Okay. Well, I guess we can't all be so brave. Do you have another attacking creature? Oh, the Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. Oh, so sweet of you to give me another spell to counter. Now do you attack? No? Aww. Let's see what we get with... What do we want? Ooh, it's an instant. Granted, I don't think you're playing artifacts or enchantments, but just in case. Actually, that was a dumb discard. I should have discarded the Annul. Okay. Do you go for a Battlecry Pump? Nope. They're about to be able to bring a World of Hurt down on me, so I need to be ready for that. Oh, that's a nice card. Okay, let's take it. Drop you, and we won't even exploit you. We're just going to let you come onto the board and eat maybe the Battlecry Goblin. Is that what you want? Okay. I'll let you have that for now. All right. Well, you can't very much do anything with that. Yeah, good luck. You can't block it. Yeah, no thank you. I appreciate you coming to play, though. Very sweet of you. Oh no, you pushed the wrong button again. And we pulled out the victory. Mono red goblins. There's the tempo, aggro tempo ability of this deck coming into play one more time. And that was a game I did not think we had. Thankfully, the opponent was not bold enough to attack into our face most turns. Alright, let's see what we got next. Fumi. Oh, that's an interesting hand. Let's see if we can gain anything from their sleeves. I believe that's Nissa. Maybe green. We'll give it a keep. If we don't get the land, though, we're in deep trouble. Mono white. This was probably a bad play. Let's see if we can draw out the portable hull. Nope, you can go on through. Thalia. Well, that's going to make life difficult. Narrowly missed a catastrophic misclick. And the brutal Cathar. Oh, you went after the Two-Faced Shadow. Okay. Hey, we can all make poor choices. Ooh, that was a mistake. I should have played something. Oh, that Moonrage Brute's gonna be a bear. Let's see if they've got the Aganjo Seat of the Empire. If they do, this is a blowout. Sajiri Shelter. Okay. Well, that'll keep your Thalia alive. Meanwhile, I am just toast. Ooh, that's way more land than we need. Oh, do they pass? They pass. That is brilliant. My, how to turn tables, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you're gonna like this even less. Another Cathar. Well, when you draw all, or 3 or 4 of them, you know, it's a little hard to come back. And me without my board wipes. Not that this deck ever had any. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that answers the question. Can this stand up to mono white? The answer, when they draw all the Brutal Cathars, no. And with that, we have reached the end of our run here. Did worse than I was hoping for. Kind of stinks to run into mono white to close us out. Let's go ahead and claim our prize. Didn't quite make the even money. Pretty sure I've got full sets of all of those. But hey, we'll take it. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the stats here. We went 3 and 3 overall. That is the wrong account. That's the one we want. Let's go to event. And let's see where we shook out. Lost to Golgari, lost to mono white twice, although this mono white, if I remember, was something very odd. But, you know, played well against mid-range and control matches, and beat mono red. So, overall, fun deck, really good time to play it. Is it going to get you everywhere you want to go? Maybe not. But I think there's good meat on these bones, better than the other versions of this type of deck I've tried to build in the past. So if you're looking for mono blue tempo, you know, feel free to take what's here, make it yours, you know, do some stuff to improve upon the shell. I think there's, like I said, a lot of good possibility with what's there, but I think it needs a little bit of work to get fine-tuned to what's effective in the current metas. With that, appreciate you being here. I am Furion from the Florida Men Gaming. Signing off.